Hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning in to News 9 Live. I'm Kabir Naqvi and you're watching this special broadcast of top stories from our studios here in the National Capital Region. Like always, an expansive list of stories for all our viewers to cover. This is your one-stop shop to understand and catch the news pulse of the day. We will be taking you across to elections that are taking place around the world, some important trials and tribulations that are taking place around the world, some climate change stories, international updates in terms of sporting developments and from the world of entertainment. But first and foremost, let's talk about what everybody is talking about. The top focus this news hour is that underworld kingpin Dawood Ibrahim, he's been hospitalized in Karachi in Pakistan as per various reports that are doing the rounds. Now, reportedly, this has been done due to a severe health issue with speculations of poisoning as well. Now, despite 2 days in the hospital, there is no official confirmation at the moment. Dawood Ibrahim is under strict security as the sole patient on his entire hospital floor, if these media reports are to be believed, accessible only to top authorities and close family relatives. Mumbai police is reportedly seeking information from Dawood's relatives, Alisha Parker and Sajid Wagle, two very important names in that list of close aides and relatives that are right now being interrogated and cross-questioned. Now, in January, Hasina Parker's son had revealed to the National Investigating Agency that Dawood Ibrahim, after a second marriage, is currently residing in Karachi. The NIA charge sheet also suggests that Dawood Ibrahim and his associates control Karachi airport in Pakistan. Now, the 65-year-old fugitive, long wanted by Indian authorities, has been managing to elude law enforcement agencies globally. Interestingly, many enemies of India who have been seeking refuge in safe havens across the world are finding that they are no longer secure, with many anti-India elements being assassinated by unknown hitmen or individuals in the recent past. Let's take a look. We have that list for you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try and put that out. Now, of course, Dawood Ibrahim, he's been reportedly hospitalized after severe health issues. Meanwhile, on that list, of course, Hardeep Singh Nijjar, that's a big name. Gurpatwant Singh Pannun, well, a bid that was foiled, an assassination attempt that was foiled against him in United States' soil. All of these, of course, do pinpoint and direct us towards a direction where we're looking at anti-India elements no longer finding it secure and safe for them in these safer haunts across the world for them. Dawood Ibrahim, this is what the latest that we're picking up. Underworld kingpin Dawood Ibrahim, he's been hospitalized in Karachi in Pakistan, reportedly due to severe health issue with speculations of poisoning. Now, there is, of course, no official confirmation on the poisoning angle. Dawood Ibrahim is under strict security as the sole patient on his hospital floor, accessible only to authorities and close family. Now take a look at this. Lashkar-e-Taiba's Rayaz Ahmed was shot dead back in September. Another one of those anti-India elements. Now, Hizbul Mujahideen commander Bashir Ahmed Peer was killed this very year. Another anti-India element, no longer finding it secure. Khalistani separatist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, like I mentioned just a short while ago, shot dead in Canada in June 2023, ladies and gentlemen. And Shahid Latif of the Jaish-e-Mohammed was also killed in Pakistan in October 2023. Now, Pakistan's ISI's Lal Mohammed was killed in Nepal in September, another addition to that list of mysterious deaths of anti-India elements. Khalistan Commando Force Chief Parmjeet Singh Panjwar was killed in Lahore, another one of those anti-India elements. And the list just, of course, keeps going on and on. Meanwhile, moving on, the Indian Met Department has predicted heavy to very heavy rainfall over Tamil Nadu and Kerala during the next 2-3 days. As per IMD Chennai, heavy to very heavy rain is likely to occur at 1 or 2 places over Thoothukudi, Ramanathapuram, Pudukkottai and Shivaganga districts of Tamil Nadu, whilst heavy rain is likely to occur at one or two places over Kanyakumari, Tirunelveli, Thanjavur, Tiruvarur, Nagapattinam, Madurai, Mayiladuthurai, Tenkasi and Virudhunagar districts of Tamil Nadu and Karaikal area. Now on Sunday, several districts of South Tamil Nadu witnessed severe rainfall leading to a flood-like situation and waterlogging, especially in the low-lying areas. People were having to wade through calf-deep and knee-deep water. Amid heavy rainfall, surplus water was released from the Pechiparai, Pirunjani and Papanasam dams, while some major roads in Kanyakumari district were flooded as well. Now, to ensure the people were informed, they were well aware, alert messages and SMSs were sent to over 2 lakh people to make them aware of what's actually happening in their surrounding. Another crucial step that was taken by the local municipalities. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, shifting our focus here, the special investigation team of the Thane police has arrested Ashwajit Gaikwad, son of Maharashtra State Road Development Corporation Managing Director Anil Kumar Gaikwad. This in connection with the Priya Singh case. Ashwajit Gaikwad allegedly assaulted Priya Singh and tried to mow her down with his SUV in Thane in Maharashtra. The team also arrested Gaikwad's friend Romil Patil and Sagar Shege and seized their Scorpio and Land Rover Defender vehicles. Now, according to the complainant, Ashwajit Gaikwad assaulted her and tried to mow her down with his SUV in Thane on the 11th of December when she had gone to meet him at a hotel near Godbundur Road.
ये ऑफिस में अभी तक 3 आरोपी को अटक किया।
क्या क्या उनके नाम है, क्या कुछ बताना जी?
अश्वजीत गायकवाड़, रोमिल पाटिल और सागर शेरके, ऐसे 3 आरोपी को अभी गिरफ्तार किया।
घटनास्थल पे इस्तेमाल हुए क्या कुछ आपने बरामद किया?
अभी उसका इन्वेस्टिगेशन शुरू है। अभी फिलहाल 2 4 व्हीलर हमने जब्त किए। इसका आगे का तपास शुरू।
मेरे बॉयफ्रेंड के साथ 4.5 साल का रिलेशनशिप था और वी वर इन कम्प्लीटली लव्ड विद ईच अदर। उस दिन रात को वो मैरिड था और मुझे पता नहीं था पहले, फिर बाद में मुझे मालूम पड़ा तो उसने बोला कि हम सेपरेट हो गए हैं, मेरा डिवोर्स हो गया है, आई वांट टू मैरी यू ओनली, मुझे आपके साथ ही रहना है, मुझे आपसे ही शादी करनी है। ये सब चीज़ें उसने की है। मैं उसके साथ रह रही थी बहुत टाइम से, 4.5 साल से। फिर उस दिन मैं उसको मिलने गई रात को, तो वो अपनी बीवी के साथ था और मैंने अचानक से देख लिया, मैंने कभी ये सब देखा नहीं था। तो वो शॉक में मैं उससे बात करने की कोशिश की कि प्लीज़ मुझसे बात करो बाहर आकर के, और वो एग्रेशन उसने मेरे पे उतार दिया। वहाँ पर हमारी लड़ाई झगड़े हुए, गाली गलौज हुआ, उसने मेरे साथ मार।
आपके बॉडी के साथ वहाँ पे क्या क्या हुआ, क्या क्या आपको इंजरी हुई है?
मुझे इंजरी हुई है मेरे राइट लेग में, मेरी 3 बोन टूटी हुई है, उसमें उसकी सर्जरी हुई है और उसमें रॉड डाला हुआ है। और मेरे लेफ्ट साइड की बॉडी में शोल्डर टू मेरे हिप्स तक मुझे बहुत डीप इंजरीज हुई है। मुझे मूवमेंट करने नहीं हो रहा है बॉडी का थोड़ा भी। मेरे हिप्स वगैरह में मुझे काफ़ी नस दबी हुई है और यही सारी चोट लगी है मुझे। स्टमक में भी बिल्कुल मेरी बॉडी कहीं से भी मूव नहीं कर पा रही हूँ मैं।
आपकी अभी पुलिस से बात हुई है, पुलिस ने क्या किया? पुलिस पहले कैसे बता?
मैंने 4 दिन पहले FIR दर्ज की थी। जिस दिन ये हुआ था उसी दिन इन्फेक्ट किया हुआ था 2 घंटे बैठ के, बट तब से कोई एक्शन नहीं लिया गया था। मैंने बहुत बार कॉल करने को ट्राई किया बट सब लोग डिले कर रहे थे। अब आज जाकर पुलिस आई है बिकॉज मैंने पोस्ट किया सोशल मीडिया पे और मीडिया के बाद मुझे पुलिस का आज सपोर्ट मिल रहा है। आज वो लोग आए हैं, बातचीत हुई है।
Next up, the latest development in the Parliament security breach case. The special cell of Delhi police has apprehended the 6th accused, Mahesh Kumawat, in connection with the Parliament security breach. Now, Mahesh Kumawat is believed to have aided the alleged mastermind, Lalit Jha, in evading the capture by booking a hotel room for him. Kumawat's pictures on your screens. Now, the Patiala House Court in Delhi, it responded swiftly, remanding Mahesh Kumawat to a 7-day police custody following his arrest. Now, the investigators, meanwhile, have recovered pieces of partially burnt mobile phones that had been destroyed by Lalit Jha. Lalit Jha, the man on your screens at the moment. Fragments of some broken and burnt mobile phones were recovered from Nagaur in Rajasthan, and the police have added relevant sections related to the destruction of evidence against the accused Lalit Jha. Meanwhile, In a parallel development, the parents of another accused, Neelam, they have taken action. They've submitted an application in the Patiala House Court requesting a copy of the FIR that was filed against Neelam and others involved in the incident. Now, the court has issued notices to the Delhi police and has scheduled a detailed hearing on the 18th of December to address the matter. Again, showing you visuals and pictures of the 13th of December, when on that particular day, when the commemoration of the 2001 Parliament attack and the floral tribute was paid, smoke bombs and a security breach of the Parliament took place. Visuals of what Senthil Balaji shared on your screens. Moving on, India demonstrated the firepower of its Akash surface-to-air weapon system, where a single firing unit simultaneously engaged and destroyed 4 unmanned targets during the recent exercise Astra Shakti 2023. The Akash missile system can engage 4 aerial targets simultaneously at a range of 25 kilometers, making India the first country to have such a capability using a single firing unit. With this demonstration, during the Air Force exercise Astra Shakti 2023, India has become the first to demonstrate the capability of engaging 4 targets simultaneously at such ranges by command guidance using a single firing unit. Akash missile defense system is being touted for exports, and the SAM has been seeing improvements in its targets and delivery systems over the years. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi used an artificial intelligence translation tool called Bhashini during his address at the Kashi Tamil Sangamam 2.0 inauguration in Varanasi. This tool translated Prime Minister's speech for the Tamil-speaking audience, underscoring the government's commitment to linguistic inclusivity. Prime Minister Modi inaugurated the Kashi Tamil Sangamam and flagged off a Kashi Kanyakumari train as well, contributing to the Ek Bharat, Shresht Bharat spirit under the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. While acknowledging the technology, Prime Minister Modi said, "Today, new technology through artificial intelligence is making communication easier."
Hara Hara Mahadev. Vanakkam Kashi. Vanakkam Tamil Nadu. Those who are coming from Tamil Nadu, I request them to use your earphone. First time using AI technology. मेरे परिवारजनों, तमिलनाडु से काशी आने का मतलब है महादेव के एक घर से उनके दूसरे घर आना। तमिलनाडु से काशी आने का मतलब है मदुरई मीनाक्षी के यहां से काशी विशालाक्षी के यहां आना। इसलिए तमिलनाडु और काशी वासियों के बीच हृदय में जो प्रेम है, जो संबंध है, वो अलग भी है और अद्वितीय भी है। मुझे विश्वास है काशी के लोग आप सभी की सेवा में कोई कमी नहीं छोड़ रहे होंगे। आप जब यहां से जाएंगे तो बाबा विश्वनाथ के आशीर्वाद के साथ साथ काशी का स्वाद, काशी की संस्कृति और काशी की स्मृतियां भी ले जाएंगे। आज यहां आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के माध्यम से टेक्नोलॉजी का नया प्रयोग भी हुआ है। ये एक नई शुरुआत हुई है और उम्मीद है इससे आप तक मेरी बात पहुंचना और आसान हुआ है।
Well, time for me to slip into a quick break over here. Lots more continues right on the other side. Meanwhile, take a look at this promo.
Yes, the scale of the attack surprised us.
When you get a series of alerts, 16 intelligence alerts, if Maharashtra government at that time had alerted the Coast Guard and the Navy, this 2611 would not have happened at all.
And one of the details they had planned was to use these dhagas to mislead the investigative agencies.
All this was to be presented as a Hindu terror.
So it was a Pakistan operation. The LAT was the front end.
As the attacks were on, it was clear that they were planned and launched from Pakistani territory.
For all of those victims of terror that was exported from Pakistan over the years, including but not limited to 2611.
This and more, streaming on world's first news OTT, News 9 Plus. Download now.
Well, download the application if you haven't already. Meanwhile, circling back to the news at hand, the police have arrested 12 people in the Belagavi assault case of a tribal woman and launched a manhunt to nab the others. The Karnataka government on Sunday ordered the police's criminal investigation department to probe the incident. The woman was stripped, paraded naked, tied to a pole and assaulted in Belagavi after her son eloped with a girl. The High Court has restricted people from visiting the woman as she is suffering from severe trauma at the moment. The state government has allocated 2 acres of land to the victim under the land ownership scheme by the Karnataka Maharshi Valmiki Scheduled Tribes Development Corporation. And maintaining our focus in the state of Karnataka, a 3-year-old girl who was playing outside an apartment complex in Bengaluru was run over by an SUV vehicle. Now, the vehicle was coming out of the parking lot just when the child was positioned right in front of the ramp from where the SUV came down. The vehicle was coming out of the parking lot and ran over the child who was playing right on the road, on the curbside. Now, the toddler sustained injuries on its right arm, shoulder and limbs. The video showed her still moving when the car left, but she died later, succumbing to her injuries in the hospital. The police, in its course of investigation, got the footage of the incident from a CCTV camera that was placed right opposite to the apartment, right opposite the gate. And the police said that the car owner has been identified. Meanwhile, the investigation is on to ascertain who was driving the car at that particular point of time, ladies and gentlemen. And shifting our focus to some top international news, the Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump addressed the issue of undocumented immigrants during a campaign event in New Hampshire. Trump, known for his tough stance on immigration, expressed concerns about the impact of migrant crossings at the US-Mexico border, which had reached new heights back in September. In his speech, Trump reiterated his promise to address both illegal and legal immigration if re-elected for a second term. During the rally in Durham, Trump used controversial language, stating that undocumented immigrants were poisoning the blood of our country. This choice of words has previously faced criticism for being perceived as xenophobic and reminiscent of the Nazi rhetoric. It's worth noting that Trump had previously employed the same poisoning the blood phrase during an interview with the National Pulse, a right-leaning website which was published in late September. In both instances, Trump's comments drew attention and debate regarding the language used in discussions about the immigration policy.
You know, when they let, I think the real number is 15, 16 million people into our country, when they do that, we got a lot of work to do. They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. They poison mental institutions and prisons all over the world, not just in South America, not just the 3 or 4 countries that we think about, but all over the world. They're coming into our country from Africa, from Asia, all over the world. They're pouring into our country. Nobody's even looking at them. They just come in.
Meanwhile, months before the 2024 election, recent polls suggest former President Donald Trump leads President Joe Biden in key swing states such as Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. Notably, Biden won these states back in 2020, and Trump must flip some of these particular states to secure victory. Now, despite Trump's apparent advantage, Biden faces a challenging task to enhance his particular standing. A CNN poll shows Trump leading by 5 points in Georgia, a state that Biden won in 2020. Another poll indicates Biden's policies are perceived negatively in Georgia and Michigan, with concerns about economic conditions. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, maintaining strong GOP support, faces legal challenges without a significant drop in popularity. From the United States, shifting our focus to the UK, where Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, addressing a political event in Rome on the 16th of December, emphasized his commitment to advocating for global reforms in the asylum system. He expressed concerns about the potential overwhelming impact of a growing number of refugees on parts of Europe. Sunak warned that hostile powers could exploit illegal migration as a weapon to destabilize societies. Earlier in the month, Sunak faced a leadership challenge but secured parliamentary vote on an emergency bill related to his plan to send asylum seekers to Rwanda.
Criminal gangs will find ever cheaper ways to ply their evil trade. They will exploit our humanity, and they think nothing of putting people's lives at risk when they put them in these boats at sea. And our enemies will also see that we are unable to deal with this, and then they will so increasingly use migration as a weapon, deliberately driving people to our shores to try to destabilize our societies. So if we do not tackle this problem, the numbers will only grow. It will overwhelm our countries and our capacity to help those who actually need our help the most.
And moving on, Turkey, Romania and Bulgaria are set to finalize a joint agreement in January to address the issue of floating mines in the Black Sea resulting from the conflict in Ukraine. The 3 NATO allies engaged in months of discussions following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The trilateral initiative involving Turkey, Romania and Bulgaria aims to clear these particular mines. The signing ceremony is scheduled for the 11th of January in Istanbul. Now, Turkish Defense Minister Güler, he highlighted the persistent threat, noting that mines from Ukrainian and Russian ports can drift to Turkey's straits due to the currents. Turkey's mine-clearing vessels will conduct continuous patrols up to Romania's sea borders.
Karadeniz'deki mayın tehlikesine karşı ülkemiz öncülüğünde başlatılan üçlü girişim kapsamında Türkiye, Bulgaristan ve Romanya heyetlerinin yer aldığı Karadeniz Mayın Karşı Tedbirleri Görev Grubu toplantısının 3. turunu 22-23 Kasım'da Bakanlığımız ev sahipliğinde gerçekleştirdik. Ayrıca 11 Ocak 2024 tarihinde 3 ülkenin savunma bakanlarının katılımı ile İstanbul'da imza töreninin yapılmasını da planlıyoruz.
Moving on the 15th of December, China identified 7 cases of COVID subvariant JN.1, with officials stating its current prevalence as very low. Now, while not ruling out its potential dominance, factors like imported cases were cited. JN.1 first appeared in Kerala in India on the 13th of December, raising concerns about the state's rising COVID cases. The Indian SARS-CoV-2 Genomics Consortium confirmed its presence as well. In the United States, the CDC estimates JN.01 now represents over 1/5 of all the cases with potential increased transmissibility. Now, though severity remains uncertain, reported symptoms include disabling fatigue and respiratory issues. Now, the CDC suggests heightened transmission risk during the winter months particularly. Take a look at this. The JN.1 variant of COVID is acknowledged as a lineage of Omicron, specifically the BA.2.86 or the Perola, according to various reports. The World Health Organization recognizes it as a notable descendant lineage of the Omicron variant, suggesting potential increased transmissibility or ability to evade immunity. Now, Perola's descendants have been reported in various countries, including the United States, United Kingdom, Iceland, Spain, Portugal, and the Netherlands, with detections in 38 countries, and the 38 countries includes India as well. It is implicated in recent surges in hospitalizations across the world, ladies and gentlemen. The pandemic, endemic, is it over? Is it not over? Well, ask yourselves again. Well, lots more coming right on the other side. Meanwhile, time for us to slip into a quick commercial break here. Don't go anywhere.
वर्ष 2070 तक भारत नेट जीरो का लक्ष्य हासिल करेगा.
There's certainly a wall of capital coming into the clean tech, climate tech space, not just in India but across the world.
This and more, streaming on world's first news OTT, News 9 Plus. Download now.
With all this gear, you must be wondering if I'm climbing a mountain. Well, let me give you a wider look of this place. This is Asia's largest mountain of shame.
A mountain of waste, almost the height of the Qutub Minar.
When you enter capital cities of some of the biggest countries in the world, you don't have 3 garbage mountains waiting to welcome you depending on whichever side of the city you enter from.
The thing is that a lot of times we talk about landfills only when there's a fire at the landfill. You need to understand that a landfill is at fire almost throughout the year. It's only when the firefighters are not able to douse the fire is when it actually catches the nation's attention, the city's attention, or media attention.
The towering landfills worsen one of Delhi's biggest problems: pollution.
यहाँ पर आप रात को आओ, दिन में आओ, आप 1 घंटे बैठ नहीं सकते बाहर. इतनी धूल, प्रदूषण, महक, आप खाना भी नहीं खा सकते बाहर बैठ के.
Life around the landfill is a curse.
हमारे घर में जो बड़े हैं उन्हें अस्थमा के वो पेशेंट है, आए दिन उनको नेबुलाइजर लगाना पड़ता है.
डॉक्टर ने मुझे ये चीज बोला कि यहाँ का एरिया छोड़ के कहीं और चाहिए.
Delhi's garbage mountains are now a fetid symbol of the national capital's trash problem. The question is, who is to be blamed? Watch Delhi's Garbage Mountains. Streaming on News 9 Plus for the Gemflix.
China won't let us rest easy on our borders, but they will keep flooding our markets. What does Xi Jinping really want?
I think he wants the Indian market, no doubt about it. It's really a matter of showing their dominance.
India's great Chinese conundrum.
Nobody can contain it. Not the United States, not China, not anybody else.
Frenemies. This and more, streaming on the world's first news OTT, News 9 Plus. Download now.
Welcome back. You're watching News 9 Live. Ladies and gentlemen, shifting our focus to the 73rd day of the West Asian conflict between Israel and Hamas. Some interesting updates out there from the war front. The following content may contain visuals that are disturbing, graphic, or sensitive in nature. Viewer discretion is advised. This material is intended for mature audiences and may not be suitable for all viewers. Please exercise caution while watching, and if you find such content distressing, we recommend discontinuing viewing. This disclaimer is provided to ensure awareness and to prioritize viewer well-being. The war between Israel and Hamas has now entered its 73rd day. Before we expand the various aspects of this particular war, let's get you the latest update from the war front on your screens first. Israel says it has discovered the biggest Hamas tunnel inside Gaza, an exclusive report that's coming your way next. Meanwhile, the Israeli Defense Forces have claimed to have taken operational control over parts of Khan Yunis in the southern half of the Gaza Strip. Israeli strikes killed nearly 90 people in Jabalia refugee camp, this according to the Gazan Health Ministry. 70% of Gazans that are killed in war are women and children, again being corroborated by the Gazan Health Ministry. In terms of the humanitarian assistance, 478 trucks were sent to the Rafah crossing in Egypt. The brother of Israeli hostage mistakenly killed by IDF says the army murdered him. Meanwhile, United States continues to press Israel to define what war milestones will look like in the days to come. Israeli airstrikes have killed at least 100 people as calls grow for Gaza ceasefire and hostage talks to resume. Now, Israeli forces fighting Hamas in Gaza have claimed to have uncovered an unusually large concrete and iron girded tunnel designed to carry carloads of terrorists from Gaza right up to the border. Here's a full report. Take a look.
Israeli forces battling Hamas said they had uncovered an unusually large concrete and iron-girded tunnel at the Gaza-Israel border designed to transport carloads of militant fighters. Chief Israeli military spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari said the tunnel was 4 kilometers or 2.5 miles long, stretching from Gaza City, once the heart of Hamas governance and now a devastated combat zone, to the Erez crossing at the Israeli border.
Without demolishing the tunnel project of Hamas, we cannot demolish Hamas.
Raising or disabling hundreds of kilometers of underground passages and bunkers is among the aims of the Israeli offensive. The military showed reporters the exit point of the tunnel, located just 100 meters south of the checkpoint at Erez. The Erez crossing is one of the sites Hamas overran on October 7th, killing 1,200 Israelis and taking 240 others hostage. Hagari said it was the biggest tunnel Israeli forces have found near the border, without specifying whether it was used by Hamas for the October 7th attack. Generally, the tunnels shown to the media by the group or by the Israeli military after their discovery have been narrow and low, designed for single-file movement of gunmen on foot. The tunnel shown by Hagari had shafts plunging vertically downward that he said suggested it was part of a wider network. Hamas did not respond to a Reuters request for comment on the Israeli account. Since the October 7th attack, Israel has besieged Gaza and laid much of the Palestinian enclave to waste. Around 19,000 Palestinians have been killed, according to Gaza health officials, with thousands more suspected buried in the rubble of Israeli airstrikes.
Meanwhile, just on Sunday, the IDF released a video claiming to show Mohammed Sinwar, the brother of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, traveling in a car through a massive 4-kilometer long and 50-meter deep strategic level tunnel near the Erez crossing in Gaza. Israeli forces engaged in combat with Hamas in Gaza asserted that they uncovered the biggest Hamas tunnel near Gaza. Chief military spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, while showing the tunnel to the media, described it as a Sinwar's secret and stated that millions of dollars had been invested in this particular tunnel project that you can see. In the silent video that's on your screens at the moment, Sinwar can be seen giving instructions to the driver as they travel through the tunnel. Meanwhile, the Palestinian Health Ministry reported that at least 5 Palestinians were killed on Sunday in an Israeli attack on Tulkram in the occupied West Bank. 2 individuals were shot dead by Israeli forces on the same day. The Health Ministry added that another Palestinian also died on Sunday after sustaining injuries in an Israeli raid attack in the West Bank city of Jenin just a few days ago. The Israeli military stated that it has been intensifying operations against Palestinian terrorist groups in the West Bank. Just on Thursday, Israel confirmed killing more than 10 people. It referred to as terrorists in raids in Jenin, where several terrorist groups have a presence as well. Now, the Israeli military released footage on Saturday claiming to show its troops assaulting a tunnel shaft occupied by a Palestinian terrorist. In the video, soldiers can be seen shooting and throwing grenades at an opening in the ground.
תן כאן לפה. תנש! תנש! תן לשמש! חדל! תן לכוחות חדל זורק ריפות! זורק ריפות! תן לשמש! קוד 104 חיובי, אויב ודאי בתוך הפיר, זרקתי רימון, ככל הנראה הושמד, כרגע זורק עוד רימון.
Now, the Israeli military stated that its forces had killed the terrorists hiding in the shaft and destroyed the tunnel altogether. Meanwhile, the IDF stepped up its bombardment of Gaza overnight and into Sunday after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu argued that the only way to secure the release of hostages was intense military pressure on the Hamas terrorist group.
Israel stepped up its bombardment of Gaza overnight and into Sunday, Palestinians said, adding that dozens of people were killed. It comes after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu argued the only way to secure the release of hostages was intense military pressure on Hamas. The attacks also follow Friday talks between Israel's spy chief and the Prime Minister of Qatar, which mediated earlier hostage releases in return for a week-long ceasefire and the freeing of Palestinian prisoners. That's according to a source with knowledge of the matter. Residents and militants say Israeli attacks took place amid fierce fighting the length of the coastal enclave. Communications were also down for a 4th day, making it hard to reach the wounded. Hamas militants say they will not discuss freeing any more of those captured when they attacked southern Israel on October 7th. If Israel continues the war on Gaza, it unleashed in response. With no signs of compromise, violence has intensified. In Khan Yunis, injured Palestinians were rushed in ambulances and on donkey carts to Nasser Hospital after what they say was an Israeli airstrike on the UN Palestinian Refugee Agency's school. Where is safe, says this man, adding he's worried about getting killed while in the hospital. Israeli missile strikes also hit a house, killing at least 24 people and wounding dozens of others in the Jabalia refugee camp in northern Gaza, Hamas Aqsa Radio said, citing the health ministry. Health officials were not available for immediate comment. Israel said it had operated against terrorist targets. Meanwhile, in Tel Aviv, the frustrated families of hostages held in Gaza set up a campsite near Israel's defense ministry. They vowed to stay there until the government secures a deal with Hamas to release their loved ones.
It's important for me to be here today because we need to put more pressure on the government to remind them that the hostage situation must be ended with a deal, and the deal must be right now because we don't have any more time to waste. We cannot wait for them to try to rescue them by army with army forces. It needs to be with diplomatic deal, by a negotiation.
Around 19,000 Palestinians have been killed, according to Gaza health officials, and thousands buried in the rubble of Israeli airstrikes since October 7th. Israel says Hamas militants killed 1,200 people and captured 240 hostages in their surprise raid that day.
And moving on, Alan Lulu Shambriz, an Israeli man who was among the 3 hostages that were mistakenly shot dead by the Israeli army in Gaza, was laid to rest at a funeral in Israel on Sunday. Take a look.
החל ממשוואות עם 4 נעלמים ועד בעיות אנושיות תיפול ממדרגה ופעם תעלה על מקפצה.
לא למען זה נלחמנו, הפכנו עולם למענך.
That's not what we fought for. We changed the world for you. My child, you were strong, determined, smart. You were a hero. You survived 70 days in hell. I know you felt us all the time, the way we felt you. Another moment, and you were in my arms. We will continue to live for you. We will continue to breathe for you. We will continue to be for you. We have missed you for so long. Sadness has no end. I love you, Mum.
חבלים נפלו לי בנעימים, אף נחלה שפרה עליו. לא תיתן חסידך לראות שחת. תודיעני אורח חיים, סובה שמחות את פניך, נעימות בימינך נצח.
And moving on, President Joe Biden was safe on Sunday night after a car collided with a motorcade SUV that was part of the president's security detail. Biden and First Lady Jill Biden had just left his campaign headquarters when the collision occurred. Jill Biden was also safe following the incident. The Bidens had emerged from the Biden-Harris 2024 headquarters in rainy downtown Washington after having a meal with members of his re-election team at the time of the incident.
Mr. President.
Moving on, Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla Motors, shared his perspective on oil and natural gas, stating on the 16th of December that they should not be demonized in the medium term. This comes in the wake of the COP28 agreement, where representatives from nearly 200 countries agreed to initiate reductions in global fossil fuel consumption, marking a significant step towards addressing climate change and signaling a gradual shift away from the era of oil. Elon Musk voiced his belief that the alarm surrounding climate change is being exaggerated in the short term.
I don't think we should demonize oil and gas. I think we should say, look, that is obviously necessary in the short term and the medium term too, and it'll take several decades to become sustainable. So I think if we just, without getting too worried about it, seek to have a sustainable energy future, gradually, then that's what will happen.
Meanwhile, Hong Kong is all set for a significant national security trial involving prominent China critic Jimmy Lai. Tight security measures surround the proceedings as the pro-democracy activist faces charges of colluding with foreign forces, notably the United States. Outside the West Kowloon Law Court, queues formed the night before the highly anticipated trial with a visible police presence to maintain order. Hong Kong's security chief issued a stern warning last week, emphasizing that any attempts to disrupt the trial proceedings will not be tolerated. The trial marks a critical moment in the ongoing tensions over national security and the protection of dissenting voices in Hong Kong. And following one of the largest solar flares ever recorded, the US experienced radio frequency blackouts. Now, a high-intensity plasma stream from the sun is predicted to reach Earth, potentially causing a powerful solar storm. Solar activity is measured in 11-year cycles, and flares are categorized from B to X based on their strength. Experts caution that minor G1 class geomagnetic storms may occur on the 16th and the 15th due to an incoming solar wind stream containing a stealthy CME, which is a coronal mass ejection. The situation could escalate to moderate G2 or strong G3 storm levels by the 17th of December, when the CME associated with the recent flare reaches the Earth. A G3 solar storm poses risks to small satellites, mobile networks, GPS and ground-based electronics, including power grids, due to the increased magnetic potential. Now, far-right Dutch politician Geert Wilders expressed gratitude to supporters after a surprising election win. The conservative liberal figure pledged ongoing support for threatened Hindus in Pakistan or Bangladesh. Known for criticism of Islam, Geert Wilders, a controversial lawmaker, faced accusations of inciting hatred and discrimination multiple times. Wilders' anti-Muslim Freedom Party emerged a clear winner in the polls held late last month, but had struggled to corral potential allies into coalition negotiations. The PVV claimed another prize on Friday as Martin Bosma was elected chair of the lower house of the parliament. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Top Stories. Lots more continues right on the other side. Keep watching News9 Live.
On October 27, 2023, the world awakened to a new crisis. A new turn in a 70 years old civil war. One